I've shown this in the past. I'm showing it again to have this on the record. Sir Harry Gibbs, an esteemed lawyer who became Chief Justice of the High Court of Australia after the Second World War. I'm going to read the second paragraph. The Commonwealth was established not by the Constitution, but by the Constitution Act, which sets out the Constitution in Section 9 of the Act. Section 128 gives power to amend the Constitution, but not the Constitution Act. As you have recognised, the Constitution Act establishes Australia as an indissoluble, cannot be broken, federal Commonwealth under the Crown. How can you have that document stand alongside the Northern Territory election where the papers for the election did not involve the Governor-General? This Foundation Act, the Constitution Act 1900, is to unite the 6 colonies of Australia into 6 states. It cannot be altered or amended by an Australian Parliament, but it has been. That's what happened in 1975 under Gough Whitlam. He butchered the document. Petitions are currently going around concealing this fact. Those 2 men who say that they were former senators, I call them out almost every day. They have not said once that they became senators without a governor. That's breaking Section 12 of the Constitution Act. But there is an elephant in the room. Steve, from our friend in the Alice, lodged his complaint on the fact of obtaining this document on the left-hand side. I will be happy to put this into the PDF, and anybody who wants a copy of this document from tomorrow afternoon, you will see a fraudulent criminal writ to have a Northern Territory election. I've just told you the Governor-General was a witness to the 2022 federal election. This is the document that must be signed by a Governor-General because there is no governor in the territory. Why? Because of population. I could spend hours with Chris, who's done amazing research, how the Northern Territory was separated from the state of South Australia under Section 111 of the Commonwealth Constitution. The white rabbit person doesn't know which constitution because she calls it from UK. There's no constitution from the UK. It's called the Constitution. It's the Commonwealth Constitution for Australia. So our friend Steve has discovered this writ. We wrote the notice of complaint and challenge and delivered it to the Commissioner, Kirsten Kelly, on Friday, with a second letter delivered this afternoon. Steve did not receive any response before polling day, the 24th of August, because we were assuming they may not have ever had a notice of complaint or challenge ever before. So we sent the second letter, and this afternoon, not long before I finished off my PowerPoint for this evening, he received a receipt and acknowledgement of his complaint. Now we are waiting for the Northern Territory Commissioner's Office, the Electoral Commissioner, to process our complaint and give us a day to go into the Supreme Court. Now let's go across to the left-hand side. At the top of the document, you will see the copyrighted kangaroos as per the Craig Oldroyd court case. If you notice what we're trying to show you, they are trying to make it look like everything is normal, everything is nothing to see, but the elders in the Northern Territory and Victoria, who I have met, have given me permission to use the copyright trademark document. That kangaroo has been copyrighted in Switzerland. What's in Switzerland? The World Intellectual Property Organization. So when a judge or an administrator wishes to steal copyrighted trademarked property, they are subject to international war crimes because they're stealing from the true owners of that copyrighted property. So You see the document, it looks very nice. They're talking about the Electoral Act of 2004, but they do not respect the fact that they have stolen, copyrighted, and trademarked icons, which have extremely important and relevant cultural law implications. Hugh Heggie, which I briefly made a point to you, I'm going to talk about him when we finish Chris's next affidavit, has gone through and broken it down. The Northern Territory was carved out of South Australia under the Constitution Act and is now operating without the Constitution. If you understand what I'm saying and you have a question, please bring it up because we are going to take this to a challenge.